doing a fitness Q&A. Something white over there by my cap. Yeah. Just yeah, so couldn't make it to the gym today. But I'm gonna be swimming soon. I've actually shrunk down in size. Need to get my size back. See what we can fiddle and play around with over here. Retouch. Retouch one. I haven't done lives in such a long time. Let's see what the chat boxes. Struggle to find this chat box. Oh, I think this is a chair. Community moderation. Chat filter. How do I start roles as a Q&A? Ask a question. Okay. Right. Okay. That. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guide your privacy and abide by the community guidelines. Um, Create highlights. Okay, I'm looking for the chat box. So, yeah, today I never make it to the gym. Okay, I must get all these messages now. Yeah, and I think next time I go back to the gym, I'm gonna try doing deadlifts again because last time when I finished my operation, um, I was unable to do deadlifts and I haven't attempted it ever since. So I think I'm gonna attempt it again and see because I'm not feeling any pain in this area. Yeah. See where the scars are. So yeah. Um, the swimming, I know I usually do swimming lives. Uh, I was unable to swim today. I actually need to jump back into the water. Yo. Hey, lately I've been feeling so demotivated. Been feeling very demotivated lately. Of stories at work and things of that nature. But yeah, I'll get back into everything. I'll get back into it. Get back into it. You know, sometimes you can be so overwhelmed that it distracts you from the main goal, you know. So when you plan I'm gonna go to the gym and then you don't end up going, or you plan to yourself and you think, hey, I'm gonna get specific things done throughout the week, and then something comes up and just messes the whole thing up. So yeah, like politics and things like that just mess up your whole week. That you don't get things done. Like I was supposed to post, I wanted to post like 5 videos and maybe a few shorts, but I never end up getting it done. You know, and sometimes you have to remind yourself to, you know, although there's things that's happening, like to get things done, you know. So, so yeah, I must get back into the roots of again and being consistent, and yeah, because there are other things that are going on besides your work, you know. It's just that we get so caught up with our work that we forget that there's other things that we need to do. Other things are important. Like the other day, I had a stressful day at work. Um, then I had a meeting with Craig Doucette, and then I'm like, oh, there's still that, you know. So there are things that are like outside your whole work situation. You know, it's just like you just get so caught up that you forget that there's other things that you need to do as well. So, yeah. So, yeah, I'm running online coaching for those that want to check that out. So, I would like to put it in a comment section, but I just can't put it. I don't know where to put it or how to do it. Yeah, I must just figure that out. I must just figure out how to do it. So what I do is I train people. I do online coaching for $100 a week. And what I do is I'll do daily Zooms with people. So we'll do a session for like an hour, 45 minutes or something. So I'll start from beginner level right up to advanced. So yeah, but we'll talk more about that later. Um, so my cardio, what I like to do for cardio is a lot of swimming. If you've seen my other lives, swimming is the best form of cardio you can do. Yeah, you can do running, you can do cycling, you can choose like what works for you, you know. I always say like do what you're comfortable doing. Like I'm comfortable doing swimming. Although some people will tell me, hey, swimming is the hardest thing you can do. Um, it's the hardest form of cardio that you can do. But like I've been doing it for years, so I know the technique and I understand that it's difficult because you have to focus on so many things while you're swimming. You have to focus on your technique, you have to focus on your breathing, you have to focus on your pace. Like it's not just one thing, like versus running. When you're running, all you're doing is you're breathing at your own pace. You um, there's not a lot of complications with you just get tired, and there's a way you minimize the tiredness. You just like focus on a rhythm. Like what I would do is I would go out, breathe in twice through my nose and out through my mouth if I'm doing running. So I'll do something like this. So in twice through your nose and out once through your mouth. So what that does is that it takes your mind off the distance because now you focus, and that's really all there is to it. So yeah, you can do different things for cardio. Um, Different things. You can do boxing even. Boxing is also very very good. Although I'm not a boxer, but the skipping I've seen what those guys do. Skipping for so long. It's hectic. So yeah. So my goal for now is to get my size back. So I've been in and out of gym since my operation. Oh, that was a horror story. That was just a nightmare, which set me back. And you know, when people always look at me and they see me on the road, they say, "Hey, Grant, you shrunk, you gone down, you don't have your muscles anymore." And I'm like, "Yeah, I had an operation, duh, obviously. Can't expect me to keep the same muscles after I had an operation." So, yeah, I do the. You, you'll need to understand that fitness is a journey. You see, it's a journey. It's not something that you can just have like a New Year's resolution. Like you see, December is coming up. How many people are gonna say, "Hey, New Year, new me. I'm gonna join a gym. I'm gonna do this." But what have you done the whole year? Huh? From January till now, look how fast this year went. What have you done? We in what's it, November now? We in November. How many of you actually stuck to the New Year's resolution that you all had last year? So if you can't stick to the New Year's resolution that you had last year, what would make you think you're going to stick to the one that you have this year? Doesn't make logical sense. So yeah, the aim is consistency. When you're consistent in anything, you can achieve anything. Do you understand that? When you are consistent and then you improve 1% every day, those are two unbreakable laws. So, when you start off this new year in 2026, I want you to have realistic goals. So, you're going to envision how you want to look in your mind. And that's what I ask all my clients that I coach. I ask them, how do you envision yourself? Because people go to the gym and they train differently. So you can take, for example, like an idol that you have, like a person that you look up to, for example, The Rock, or maybe a sprinter, or a swimmer, or a strongman competitions, guys that push trucks and all of that. And then you adjust. So you look at how they train. So you envision their body, how it looks, and then you will adjust your training accordingly. So if you want an aesthetic look, like for, like maybe example, like say Zac Efron, right? If you look at his build, he's not gonna train like The Rock. Their training style is different. So a person that's looking for more aesthetic looks will go for maybe higher reps during their workouts. They won't do um, max bench press, breaking PRs and all that. They would train in a way where it would give them the desired outcome. So if you're doing powerlifting, you're gonna focus more on heavy movements. So you're gonna focus on things like bench press, military press, deadlifts, squats, all those all those exercises that hit all the big muscles. Though that's how you're gonna train if you wanna train for strength and size, because you see those are the big muscles in your body. So you see when you do bench press, you're targeting the chest, which is a big muscle. You see, that's why it can handle the load. So when you're doing deadlifts, you're targeting the back, which is a very big muscle. Squats, leg press, all those things are big muscles. That's why you'll find that you can go heavier on those movements than, for example, biceps. Like you can't curl 120 on your biceps. Why? Because it's a small muscle. But you can go with 120 on the bench press because it's a big muscle. Does that make sense? So I always tell my clients when I'm coaching them to envision how you want to look in your mind. You can't just go into the gym and wing it. You can't just go into the gym and jump from leg press to shoulder press to what, arms, biceps, and triceps. Because what happens now is that you don't have structure in your workouts. You see, when you go into the gym, you must already know what you're gonna do from the time you go in, because you must know you got 1 hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So you must know, when I go into the gym, I'm gonna train. I'm gonna train biceps only today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna only train triceps. I'm not gonna go tomorrow and train biceps again. Wouldn't make sense, right? So whatever you wanna ask me related to fitness, just put it over there and I'll answer for you. So yeah, so you have to have structure, is what I'm trying to say. Everything has to be structured, from your meal plan, your meal prep, to your training. So let's talk about that structure in your training. So when you're doing biceps, I'm giving an example, but it's gonna apply to every other muscle in your body. When you're doing biceps, you're gonna do 4 different workouts for your biceps, and you're gonna do 10 reps of 4 sets each. So okay, so if you want to do normal bicep curls, you will start off with that. You will do 4 sets of 10 reps each. You move on to the next bicep workout. You do maybe cable curls. You do cable curls. Same formula. You'll be doing 10 set, 4 sets of 10 reps each. Then you move on to the next workout, concentration curls. Same formula, 4 sets, 10 reps each, and so on and so forth. And in the fourth one, you'll do maybe hammer curls that will target your form and your biceps. So you've targeted your biceps. You've targeted your biceps, and then you don't have to do it for the rest of the week. And then what you'll do is you'll come the following day, and then you'll do triceps. Now that's a different muscle now. You see, because the next day your biceps will be sore. So when you're doing triceps, you'll do same formula, 4 different workouts for your triceps. So you'll do things like triceps extensions, skull crushes, what else? But anyway, four different tricep workouts. And if you don't know what to do, a lot of the gyms have pictures on the walls or pictures on the equipment. Okay, coming now. 1 second. The sunlight because yeah. So where was I? Yeah, so you have to have structure. And then the next day off the triceps, you do something like back, back, and back, and then you do 4 different workouts for your back. You start off from the bottom of your back and you work your way up. And then on the next day, you move to shoulders and do 4 different workouts for your shoulders. So that's how you structure your your workouts. And then once you've got that going, now you've formed a routine. Then you just need to build on that. How you can build on that is you can increase the intensity, increase the sets. That's how you work on that. But then you have like a baseline now of how your training should be. So once you've got that right, you've won half the battle. Then from there, you just need to work on your consistency and then your meal prep, your meal planning. So what I like to do for meal planning, like you see, if you're on a budget, say you're on a tight budget, say you're on a budget, a cheap budget for your meal prep, like if it's gonna depend now if you're bulking or if you're cutting. So if you're bulking, a cheap meal plan would be something like chicken, rice, and broccoli. So you'll be eating that every day. You'll be eating chicken, rice, and broccoli every day. The rice is for carbs, that's for energy for when you're training. But now when you're cutting, all you're doing is you're taking the rice out. That's and then you're cutting. That would be like a meal plan for cutting and a meal plan for bulking, and it's a cheap meal. It's very cheap. Chicken breast, rice, broccoli if you're bulking. Chicken breast and broccoli if you're cutting. It's affordable for everybody. So yeah. And then obviously as you get budgets, as you get more money, you can look at buying the fancy stuff like salmon and things of that nature. Supplements. Let's talk about supplements. When you're doing supplements, what you're doing is you are supplementing, because you see, especially when you're on a diet, when you're on a strict diet, you're not gonna get all the other nutrition that you need, that you're supposed to be getting. So you're supplementing. That's why they call supplements. It's not magic powder that's gonna give you muscles. It's like a meal basically that's gonna supplement your gains. You see? So that's why you supplement. So you stick to your diet, and then you're gonna stick to your training, and then you're gonna stick to your supplement routine. So yeah, if you stick to that, you won't have a problem. And like I said, obviously, how you want to look is going to be is gonna determine how you're gonna train. So if you have like a bodybuilder physique, you're gonna train in that style. You're gonna train in the bodybuilding style. If you're doing CrossFit, you're gonna be doing body weights only. With bodybuilding physiques, they use progressive overload. So they start off, they warm up small, and then they move up, and they move up with the weight, and up with the weight. See, like just now when I was talking about doing 4 sets of 10 reps each. So the four sets will look like this. You'll start off as a warm up set, right? You'll do, say for example, you're doing the bench press. So you'll start off, your warm up sets will be 20 kgs, right? 10, 10. That will be your first warm up set, all right? And then you'll do 10 reps of that. And then when you're done, what you'll do is you'll move up, you move the weight up. So on the next set, you'll go um, 30 kgs. So 15, 15. Then you do 10 of that. And from there, you move up to 40 kgs. So you put 20 there, 20 there. That's your third set. So that's how you will progressive overload if you're training like a bodybuilding style. Now, if you're training, say men's physique or CrossFit or something. Now, CrossFit, it's a lot of cardio and it's a lot of body weight. So a lot of pull-ups, a lot of push-ups, a lot of dips, a lot of lunges, and a lot of cardio. You see? So why do you need to train cardio? Why do you need to do cardio when you're lifting weights? Because you see, your cardio trains the heart. Your heart is a muscle. So you'll find when your heart is strong, you'll get through those lifts. You'll get through that workout. You won't gas out easily because you don't want to gas out. Because when you gas out, then that becomes a problem. So you always want to make sure that you have a strong heart whilst you're training. Because now you say you don't do your cardio and all you do is weights, you won't be able to run from here to there. It will be too challenging for you. So yeah, so the best thing to do is have a strong heart. Make sure you do your cardio, even if you do it 3 times a week. I know some of you don't like to do cardio. At least do it 3 times a week because you need a strong heart. Because if you're gonna be lifting weights, you won't gas out quick. You don't wanna gas out quick. So you have to choose the cardio that you wanna do. You can choose between skipping, running, cycling, swimming. Choose one. Even walking too. But as long as you have, what can I say? As long as you do something that's gonna elevate your heart rate, right? So that you get used to that pressure on your nervous system. You see, that's what will get you through your workouts. So when you're doing weights, it'll be less difficult for you to get through. Not to say, well, it won't be difficult. It will be difficult, but you won't struggle. You know. So yeah. So if you stick to that routine of training, being consistent, Having a consistent diet and supplement program, you'll be fine. You'll achieve your goal. But always envision yourself how you want to look in your mind first. Envision how it's going to be, how you want to look. So you get those people that dirty bulk, those people that just eat anything and everything. You don't want to be one of those people that dirty bulk, because what happens when you dirty bulk is you start putting on, yes, you put on muscle, but you put on muscle in the wrong areas. I know because I've dirty bulk myself. So you put on fat in, like, you start getting double chins and fat by your love handles, and you don't want to do that. So yeah, that's it for the Q&A, guys. Thanks, and I'll see you all tomorrow.